Have you ever found that when you have free time, you can't figure out what to fill it with? And because you haven't filled it with anything, you find that you're being a little bit, especially for parents, maybe noticing that your child is drifting towards the things that are outside of their value system and yours, drifting towards things that they don't know what to do because they're bored. They can't quite figure out what to do. This is one of the things that I really struggled with when I was growing up, and I've seen a lot of my clients that have struggled with things of this sort. I'll give you an example from my life and an example from one of my clients' lives. One is when I was growing up, when I would feel bored, whether I was in school at the time of, oh, I have the rigid structure, I have the rigid schedule that's kind of taking up my time, or I was outside of school and I was during summer and vacations when I really didn't have any structure. One of the things that I found was really hard for me is I really didn't have a direction to go with my life, nothing that was kind of pushing me in any sort of a direction. And one of the things that I started doing, and I actually found this passion after I had finished high school, was I found a passion for writing. I loved to write, to build fantasy worlds or sci-fi stories, and be able to kind of build those together. And as I built those, as I put those together, things became a lot simpler because I had something that I was passionate about that I could channel my energy towards rather than towards something like at the time I struggled with pornography addiction. So rather than when I felt bored, I would just be like, I'd have Satan show up in my head and he'd say, well, like, I mean, you could just, go look at porn because it'll be easier. You don't have to think about anything else. It's a simpler thing. You know, you enjoy it. It'll be great. Even though I knew I would feel horrible afterwards. So what I started doing was writing and having something that I would fill that time with, fill that gap with. And I would have something that was my major thing that when I felt bored, I would, instead of going towards something brain numbing like watching YouTube, I would instead go towards something that was creative, that made my mind have to think, like writing. An example as well from one of my clients' lives is that I had a client that one of the things that he would really struggle with, and the time that he would really be tempted by Satan for his particular issue that he was trying to resolve, was when he was bored. That was the main thing that would kind of push him in that bad direction. And so when he was bored, I asked him, I was like, hey, so what do you try? Like, what do you do when you're bored? What are the average things that are your excitement when you're bored? And his answers were basically like, oh, I'll watch YouTube. I might play a video game. I don't know, was basically his answer. And so I asked him, well, when you do go to those things, do you end up actually feeling better? Or does it kind of lead you towards the thing you don't want to do? And it came out as we talked that really these things were kind of just leading him in that direction because he had no direction and nowhere to go. So one of the things that we talked about and discussed for him is we went, okay, so what can you do in those moments? And what he did was he made a list. And this is what I'd like to encourage you as parents to do and help your child with, is help your child to make a list of things they can do when they're bored. And that can be things like, oh, watch YouTube, but not too much, or play some video games, but not too much. But coming up with some creative things, some things that their brain has to think, has to function in that moment to come up with the answer to something or work on that, because it'll help your child to have that basically direction. And even if you have that list on like a sticky note or a 3x5 card in your pocket and you can pull it out and your child can look at it and be like, oh, okay, I'm bored. I can just pull this out and be like, okay, looking at my piece of paper here, I have on there, I could crochet, I could play the guitar, I could go work out, I could play basketball, I could, all these things that are listed there that kind of take out that uncertainty that Satan preys on of, oh, you're uncertain, you don't know what to do. Oh man, well, like, I mean, you could just do this. You could just be lazy. You could just kind of let your life waste away and watch some YouTube for 6-7 hours. But the thing that can actually help is instead to have something creative that your child can go towards. So I'd like to encourage you to help your child to come up with a list, just a simple list, 3, 4, or 5 things that they can have in that moment of, okay, I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm lazy, I'm feeling off. Okay, I'm going to pull this out and be like, okay, what are my options? What can I do? If you found this helpful and this is something that can really aid you as a parent or your child, I'd encourage you, please, to try it. See what you can do, see how it works out. And after, if you find that you still need some help or anything like that, feel free to just shoot me a text. It's nothing crazy. You don't have to feel super scared about it. And I'm only going to text you if you want me to. You can just send me a text of, hey, here's how I'm feeling. Here's how everything's going. Or just, hey, like, I tried this thing. Is there any more advice you have? Or if it feels comfortable and safe, you can schedule a free consultation with me and I'll help and meet directly with you and you and your child to talk directly over what's going on and what you'd like to do or work on. I'm happy to do both of those things. Please reach out if you have any needs. Really, it's totally possible to beat Satan. It's totally possible to have this rush towards the things we're trying to do. So I encourage you to really try this out, see how it works for you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Before my son first started Knights of Honor, Night Castle Service's tabletop role-playing game used to gamify goals. I thought it sounded good, but I did not know much about it. KC was so great about my concerns and helped me see that there was truly nothing to worry about. After asking lots of questions, I felt confident that it would be a benefit to my son, although at the time I had no idea just how much it would benefit him. It is a brilliant way for these young men to have fun and reinforce their goals at the same time. After starting Knights of Honor, my son started asking to do the dishes or help in any way he could. This was jaw-dropping for us. He became so committed that he would get sad if someone else had done the dishes. Knights of Honor also helped him to gain an even stronger desire to be a good presider, provider, and protector. I am blown away at Casey's creativity and brilliance, and creating this game that inspires our young men to be more valiant and noble. My son looks forward to it every week, and it has been tremendously helpful at helping him become the young man that Heavenly Father wants him to become. I highly recommend Knights of Honor. Christina, mother of a client.